Okay, this one you really have to think outside of the box on this because a lot of people think, okay, should I just take the denominator and multiply it times its conjugate? You could, but you'd still be left with x minus 3, and as x approaches, whoops, boop, and as x approaches 3, 3 minus 3 would still be 0. And even if you put that 3 here, the square root of 3 minus itself, the square root of 3 minus square root of 3, that's 0. So you can't plug it from the beginning. You can't use your conjugate on the denominator because you'd still have 3 minus 3. And this is really thinking outside the box, and it took me a few minutes to process it. But what would be really nice is to not have a denominator at all, because then you don't have to worry about 0 in the denominator. And since my numerator is an x minus 3, this actually came from, okay, I'm going to write it down here, and I'll use colors. If you had a square root of x here and a square root of x there, first times first would give you first. The square root of x times the square root of x is actually the square root of an x squared, but the square root of x squared is just x. And then for last times last, if I put the square root of 3 here and the square root of 3 there and make one of them a plus and the other one a minus, last times last, if you take a positive square root of 3 times a negative square root of 3, you get a negative square root of 3 that just got squared, and that's negative 3, which is this. Sneaky, huh? And now you can see that, give me a blue pen. Blue, where are you? Blue. That this denominator of the square root of x minus the square root of 3 will cancel this square root of x minus the square root of 3, leaving you with simply the square root of x plus the square root of 3. And it is at this point that you can take you can take the limit as x approaches 3, put your 3 in here. So what you have is the square root of 3 plus another square root of 3, and you actually have to see this as a 1 square root of 3 plus a 1 square root of 3, which would make 2 square roots of 3. That's my answer. 2 times the square root of 3. It says enter an exact answer. They did not want me to grab my calculator. And I'm coming in here, and they do this time have the little equation editor option. So where'd it go? There it is. That took a little while. So I'm going to type in 2, and then I need my square root sign and a 3. 2 times the square root of 3. Booyah! So you had to think outside the box on that one. It took me a minute.